We have all had that moment on a Tuesday afternoon where you stare at a spreadsheet and decide you are completely done with the corporate grind. You want out, and you want out immediately. But if you look online for a way out, this timeline represents what you actually find. You get 15 different variations of early retirement scattered across a 30-year map. A fast 9-year exit sounds appealing until you zoom in and realize it requires spending your 30s in a cramped studio with roommates. To figure out which strategy actually works for you, we have to ignore the timeline. We are not going to list these from 1 to 15. Instead, we are grouping them by the specific currency you have to spend to achieve them. To buy your freedom early, you will pay in one of 4 ways: extreme current deprivation, outsized financial risk, a physical relocation, or perpetual part-time labor. Successful early retirement depends on finding the specific lifestyle trade-off that you can actually sustain. The first category is for people who optimize entirely for speed. These are the extremist paths, designed to get you out of mandatory labor as fast as humanly possible. The first extremist path is entrepreneur fire. You spend your nights and weekends building a business, hoping to sell it for a lump sum in 3 to 5 years. You take on massive binary risk for a quick exit. This balancing scale illustrates your alternative: extreme frugality fire. Instead of generating a massive income block, you approach the exact opposite side of the ledger by crushing your annual expenses to 25% of what you earn, aiming for an exit in 9 years. The hidden costs here are steep. The entrepreneur faces a high statistical probability of business failure and total burnout. The extreme saver faces a severe permanent reduction in social experiences, dining out, and basic daily comforts. The extremists succeed in buying 2 decades of their life back, but they pay for it by completely draining their current comfort and security. Our second category steps away from those harsh sacrifices. The semi-retirees are for those who prioritize immediate work-life balance over achieving total financial independence. Paths like Coast Fire and Barista Fire require you to aggressively front-load your retirement savings early in your career. Once the nest egg is big enough to grow on its own, you quit the stressful career and take a low-stress or part-time job just to cover your daily bills and secure health insurance. Digital nomad and hybrid fire take a similar approach. You maintain remote freelance work or run a seasonal business to cover your lifestyle costs, allowing you to sidestep the traditional 40-hour office commitment. The massive benefit to this category is immediate relief. You drop the corporate stress and gain control of your schedule in roughly 7 to 14 years. But this diagram illustrates the structural catch. Your front-loaded savings lift the heavy weight of your corporate exit, but you are still tethered to the labor market by an endless thread of ongoing part-time labor. You are never fully retired. Semi-retirement is a calculated compromise. You secure autonomy and flexibility today by sacrificing your absolute freedom tomorrow. The third category relies on physical movement. The geohackers are high-earning professionals willing to drastically manipulate their location to alter the math. Strategies like geo-arbitrage and expat fire require securing a high cost of living salary, like San Francisco or New York pay, and physically relocating to a dramatically lower-cost city or country. This split-screen comparison shows the mathematical advantage. Moving from a $60,000 lifestyle to a $35,000 lifestyle artificially inflates your purchasing power. Your required portfolio target drops by nearly half, erasing years of required labor from your timeline. But the friction is intense. You have to uproot your social circle, navigate foreign healthcare systems, deal with complex tax laws, and risk your employer adjusting your salary down once they realize you moved. Geo-arbitrage trades geographic stability and local community for intense financial acceleration. Our final category is built for the risk-averse. The asset managers optimize for maximum psychological safety and predictable cash flow. Traditional and dividend fire require working a standard career for 15 to 25 years. You accumulate massive capital slowly and live purely off safe withdrawal rates or stock yields without ever touching the principal. Real estate fire uses debt leverage to acquire multifamily properties. The goal is to generate enough monthly rental cash flow to cover your living expenses completely. The reality of real estate fire rarely looks like the passive income fantasy on the left. Instead, you trade your corporate job to become an active on-call landlord, fixing a broken washing machine in a flooded basement at 2 a.m. The primary cost for this entire category is time and effort. You are committing to decades of continued labor in a primary career or taking on active property management duties. Asset managers secure the safest, most bulletproof form of retirement. They simply pay for it with the longest time commitment. Listing the strategies doesn't give you an answer. To find your exact path, you need to map your psychological boundaries. This decision tree filters out the noise. The first step is to establish what primary outcome you optimize for: speed, flexibility, location, or security. If you demand an immediate exit and can tolerate extremely high friction, follow the speed branch. The extremist paths are your match. If you want low stress and do not mind part-time work, follow the flexibility branch. Target the semi-retiree paths. If you refuse to deplete your principal and demand absolute safety, follow the security branch. Dividend and traditional FIRE are your gold standards. The strategies that require the most extreme lifestyle changes often have the highest failure rates. Slow FIRE takes the opposite approach, requiring a modest savings rate of 15 to 20%. By targeting retirement around age 57, you avoid the burnout of deprivation during your peak years. For most earners, this creates the most realistic and sustainable bridge to independence. The most effective financial plans focus on building a life worth living, prioritizing long-term satisfaction over a quick escape.